Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. And to curse, and here it's God cursing, to take the opposite from the idea of blessing, to curse is to God speak ill of you. And all that God has to do to speak ill of someone is view them in Adam and say, this is how you are. Just God describe a man how he is outside of Christ. That is speaking bad of him, because there isn't anything good in him to speak good about. And when God curses someone, that's a powerful curse. That crushes. God, being the eternal God, curses eternally. Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated, the children being not yet born, never even having done any good or evil. God curses the reprobate wicked in the way of their sins. Depart from me. I don't want you anywhere near me. Hell is nearly too close to me. Get away into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. And there are some people who come in here, because they're always poking around to find something, and they say, this denies reprobation. See, it doesn't say this kingdom or this everlasting fire was prepared for you and the devil and his angels. It just says it was prepared for the devil and his angels, and then you sort of coming there was sort of an afterthought, and God really wanted to save you but couldn't, or slipped up, or you wouldn't let him, and so you've ended up there sort of against God's purposes and desires. That isn't the idea at all. The idea here is that your destruction not only is it terrible and everlasting, but who you're going to spend eternity with the devil and his angels, and not your mates. It's not going to be like going to the pub on a Saturday night with all the old faithful with you. You are going to go with the devil and his angels, this specially fitted chamber of divine retribution forever. That's where you go. And you go there not so that the devil and his angels will torment you, but that you will experience torment with them, in their company, if company is an appropriate word for hell. Everlasting fire. We all know, and we teach our youngest children, even if they don't know, what fire does. It burns, it brings terrible pain that affects the weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth. This is everlasting fire because it never burns up. It never runs out of fuel, because the resurrected bodies of the wicked are not the sort of tinder that can ever be consumed. And the smoke of their torments ascends up forever. This is Revelation 14. And in case someone tries to worm out of that everlasting punishment, we have verse 46. These shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into life eternal. Which teaches us this parallel between everlasting punishment on the one hand and life eternal on the other hand, that hell is just as eternal as heaven. If you want to make some sort of annihilationism or conditional immortality with John Stott, the Anglican Evangelical, or the various cults, you've got to say the same thing about heaven. Everlasting punishment and life eternal. They're just as eternal as the other. This is, unpopular though it may be, this is the last parabolic word of Jesus in his last parable. All winds up with the final judgment, and this parable ends with this word. These shall go away into everlasting punishment, and the righteous into life eternal. And there isn't anything more after that. It's sealed for both sides. So the calling is believe. Believe in Jesus, who uttered these parables and who died for his sheep. And the point is to then believe and help your fellow saints, all of them. And then to fear him who has power to cast both body and soul into hell. Yea, I say unto you, fear him.